I will give you three, four. I'll give you a good guess on what we're going to be looking at today. Psych, you're not getting a good guess. We're taking a look at another Spider-Man figure. So I've already reviewed the Green Goblin, I've reviewed the Sandman, and I've reviewed Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Tom Holland Spider-Man. The only Spider-Man we haven't gotten to yet is Andrew Garfield. So I'm very, very excited to get into this because I cannot wait to see all three Spider-Men together from Spider-Man No Way Home. And I am very, very excited about this. And I hope you guys are too. So I am not going to waste any time. I'm not going to dilly-dally and I'm not going to talk like I usually do. We're going to get right into this figure. So come join me. Oh shit. So obviously I'm very excited about this figure because it's a figure I've been personally looking forward to for a long time, and I cannot believe we actually have him in hand. So this is the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man from the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and you can see right off the bat there's a huge difference from the packaging and just the way he looks overall. It's super unique to just his design. So I personally want to take a look at this packaging real quick. So what's very interesting about this packaging is that the packaging has the Amazing Spider-Man 2 look on it. I don't know why that is. Like, this is not exactly based on Spider-Man 2. I mean, I guess it can be, but really this is based off the No Way Home franchise. So I don't know why Tobey and Tom both had their packaging pretty much the exact same based on No Way Home, while Andrew here is still kind of in the past. You know, he's still got his Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie deal going on here, which honestly I really do like. It is very unique, and I kind of wish that Tobey Maguire had his own as well. I think that would have been really cool to see, you know, like the poster for the first Spider-Man movie or something like that. But it's pretty interesting. It's not bad. Turning this little bad boy around, you could see that you got that beautiful image right there, which is a really dope image. You also have some wording right here. No matter what evil rises, the Amazing Spider-Man will summon the courage to defeat it. With great power comes great responsibility. That is definitely true. So packaging is very, very nice, and I really do like how you know, just the overall way it looks. I do like the Spider-Man, and I do overall like the blue lightning instead of like yellow that it had before. But it still really is cool. So we're going to take a look at the figure. We're going to open this bad boy up and see what we got going on inside. Even though we can see what's going on inside, we'll take a closer look at what's going on inside. So taking a look at a very lackluster amount of accessories, he pretty much has everything that you can come with. He does have the Spider-Man mask, which does look pretty dope. I actually really do like it. And again, the camera doesn't pick up the right coloring, but this red is very, very nice. On camera, it does have that kind of glossy shine to it, but I think it looks really cool. But the big difference between the camera and seeing it in person is that this is a kind of a dark red, and it looks beautiful. I think that this Spider-Man has probably the best paint job out of the rest of the Spider-Man figures. He also does have two different types of hands. He's got this kind of this hand. I don't know what kind of hand you would do with this. And then he's got closed fists. But what I really do like is that you kind of see there's something in the middle right there, which I believe is his web shooters, but we won't know until we actually bring the figure out. And before we do that, now the wedge shooters are right there. I guess that's just like the thing that he, you know, he can touch so it can actually shoot out. But I think it's a pretty nice detail. It's unpainted, but it's a nice little feature to have. So that's pretty much all the accessories. There's nothing else to it. So let's get the actual figure out here. So here we have the figure himself straight out of the box. And I have to say, wow, this is a huge upgrade from what we're used to. If you guys kind of remember, and we'll definitely bring them out here, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is definitely decent, and so is Tom too, but in their paint job, it's not great. But this figure's paint job is absolutely gorgeous. I love the red that they used. The lines are painted beautifully, and I do really love the blue on the suit as well. It is very nicely painted and sculpted too. This looks very nice, and it looks pretty much in proportion to how he looks, and it just looks awesome. Coming up very, very, very close to, I guess, the head. The head itself looks fantastic. This looks pretty much like Andrew Garfield. It definitely has some issues, I will say, but I see the likeness to Andrew Garfield more than I do Tom Holland and, maybe Tobey Maguire too. But I think that his head sculpt is probably the best out of the three. It's very nice. I like the way the hair is sculpted. It could have been colored a little differently. I don't believe he had this kind of almost black hair. I think it had some more brown, tips to it, but I might have a picture up and you can see for yourself, and maybe I might be making a fool of myself, but it does look like a nice head sculpt, and I really do like the way it is painted, and I do like it. It's very nice. I don't really have any complaints about it. I will say maybe the likeness isn't too great on certain angles, but you can kind of see it, from once you hit it the right way. But the beautiful part is this suit. I love the spider. The spider is awesome. I love I never really cared too much for the Amazing Spider-Man, but one thing that I really did like is the uniqueness of this spider symbol and how it just looks like a spider, but the legs just go even further down than any other really spider suit that we've seen before. But it does look very nice, and you can see the sculpting is all nicely painted. You can see it's got some nice texturing with the blue parts of the suit, and I think that does look really cool. I don't believe that Tom Holland's Spider-Man has that. It's just more of a clear, and I think that Tobey Maguire had that as well, but I don't think it's as good as it is here. So I think it is very nice. You can see that kind of almost same spider emblem there. Very kind of different, but it's got that same style of the arms just drooping down a bit more, and it is very nice. What I really do like is the included web shooters, which you can see right into there, which is a very nice inclusion. Definitely might paint that just like a silver or something, because that does need to be painted, because it does look kind of off if you don't know what it is, but I'm sure you know what it is. It's Spider-Man, of course you know what it is. You can see that he's got some nice boot texturing as well. It's overall a very nice figure, but I think the main thing that I want to see is the actual spider head on this dude. So taking it off should be relatively easy. It's just on a ball joint, as you can see, and popping it on might be a little bit of a challenge, but we'll see if we could do it on camera. And there we go. It kind of slid on in very nicely. And yeah, yep. Okay, that does look very nice. I really do like the way that looks. The way Andrew Garfield's Spider, I don't know why I keep wanting to say Tom Holland's. The way Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man looks, he's very tall. He's kind of got that, almost skinny body. It's more lanky, I guess. But, I think it still works. And I think they captured that with this figure. And it looks really nice. I really do like the way it looks. And you can see that the mask texturing is also very nice as well. I love the lenses. It's got kind of like this silver paint job to it, which is very nice, very different from the other Spider-Mans. I think Tobey had kind of that same look to it, except for Tom. Tom had just kind of like that basic white, I think. But yeah, everything just blends together very nicely with this figure, and it just looks so cool. So I don't know. I'm really tempted to just call this one my favorite Spider-Man figure out of the three. I was really hoping it would be Tobey Maguire's, but Andrew Garfield really had some. They really respected him in the movie, you know. But and in the figure form too. This is really nice. So, how does the figure pose? That's kind of my biggest thing when it comes to these Spider-Man figures. How does he pose? Well, he poses pretty decently, I would say. His head can look up that far, down that far, which is a very nice range of motion right there. It's not crazy, but it's very nice. Of course, it's on a ball joint, so he can swivel it around, and of course, he's got some side to side. On the arms, he does have some outward movement. He does have a very nice butterfly joint, which is super cool. Does have a swivel at the bicep as well, and he does have the standard double bend at the elbow. He has the swivel at the wrist, and of course the hinge joint as well. And once you go down to here, he's got the kind of swivel at the ab section, which can also crunch back that far and forward that far. That's also the help with this hinge joint at the waist, which I believe is on a very soft ratchet, I believe. The legs can spread to about that far. And of course, I think with all the Spider-Man figures, he does kind of have a shift, just a slight one. And of course, he's got some swivel at the thigh. Leg can move out that far, back that far, but that Spider-Man rump is kind of in the way. And he does have the double bend at the knee. He has the hinge joint at the foot, and of course, he has a pivot. So posability on this Spider-Man figure is pretty standard for every other Spider-Man figure that we've looked at so far, but I think it's done pretty nicely. As very uninspiring as this pose is, I've pretty much held him for like probably a good 10 minutes, just kind of posing him around, having fun with him. And I have to say, I think out of the three, he is definitely my favorite Spider-Man figure. He's just so much fun to just handle, and I did not really expect it. He looks awesome. He feels really nice. The sculpting work is done beautifully. I don't know what they did with Tom, because I think Tom might be my least favorite. I just think that this figure really does the job done. I think they did a really great job on him. I guess you can kind of count this as a size comparison, but not really, because he's not standing up straight. But having him with all three Spider-Man, it's so cool. I absolutely love it. You can definitely see how different he is compared to all of them. You can definitely see how different they are compared to each other, really. I really do like the way they all look. They look really nice. They just look so cool with all three of them together. I will say that I think the one that has the least amount of flaws is Andrew. With Tobey Maguire, I mean, the paint job is not great. I think the blue that they use is great, and I think that the I can't really say that either. The web lines are kind of shit. All right, I think that out of all three of the Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire has the least exciting web lines out of everybody, because they just look like shit. I don't know what they did. They just do. And I think that Tom Holland's, I think it's just very, I don't know. There's just something about that one that just doesn't look right. And I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it just doesn't look right. It doesn't hit. But with Andrew Garfield, damn, they did a fantastic job on this figure. So here's kind of like a almost perfect size comparison between them. And it does look like that, I think Tobey might have that slight bit of height. I don't know if it's just because I have him posed weird, but Tobey looks like he's got the height, which I feel like that should have went to Andrew. But I don't know. I think that I think it works either way. Yeah, it's not too bad, especially if you kind of have them unhunched. But I think that, well, after unhunching them that much, I think that it's almost very neck and neck between the two of Tobey and Andrew. I think Andrew might have a slight advantage. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. Of course, like, Tom is the smallest, because that makes sense. He's almost like, he's basically a kid. But, you know, I think that it does make, I don't know if the accuracy is there, but I think it is, it's definitely very nice to see. And here's a little bit of a size comparison with him with the Venom. And honestly, I think both of these guys look fantastic together. I think that, you know, if Venom was to be given a Spider-Man, I think Andrew would fit really well with the Venom Spider-Man universe. And it just looks cool. I really do like the way they both look. It's so cool together. But that's pretty much going to be it for this video. So, what is my final scoring for this figure? It's awesome. It is so, so good. And I am very surprised that this figure is as good as it is. There are slight things that make it not perfect. You know, the head sculpt could be just a tad bit better, but I do think that it is the best out of the three, to be honest. And there's just that, I don't know, the unpainted web shooters is another thing. And I don't know, maybe the height as well. But those are just tiny little things. I think this figure is perfect. So with the tiny little flaws, I think that this figure deserves a 4.9 out of 5. And I think that is like near perfect. That is a near perfect figure. So I would highly suggest picking this guy up because they did a pretty good job on this figure. I really do like the way it looks. Maybe some new hands. I think just more variety of hands would be very nice. But other than that, this figure is pretty much perfect. And he's the best one out of the three. So like I said, the figure is worth it. This is a beautiful figure of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and definitely a fun addition to your Spider-Man collection. Especially if you like the movie and you like No Way Home, definitely get this one. All three of the Spider-Man figures are pretty decent. I'd say Tom is my least favorite, but I think that this one is top. This is an amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man. But anyways, that's pretty much all I got. I'm going to put this guy on the shelf, and that's pretty much all I got to say. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And next week's video, I'm just going to put it out there right now, is going to be a little different. I mean, it's not going to be completely different since we've looked at Star Wars figures before, but we're taking a look at the Book of Boba Fett Mandalorian figure. I'm pretty excited about this one, mainly because it looks like it's going to be a big upgrade compared to the ones that I already have. So I'm very excited to see what this guy has in store, but that is for next Monday. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.